how do you see legalization in recreational use in regards to mining companies and workplace testing? Anyone want to have a shot at that?
Can I answer that one?
Sure.
Yeah. So from what I've been having a look at, the easiest way for mining companies and all of that to be able to bring in legal cannabis use is to increase the minimum UGML level, which at the moment I'm pretty sure it sits about 50. If they were to increase this to 250, and say someone was pulled up for a random urine test, that would then show positive, but that would show two outcomes, and that's one, it's a regular user that might have a couple of cones or some CBD oil after shift every night, or two, they've had some CBD oil or a couple of cones within the last 4 to 6 hours. Then you'd then be given a swab test, which would then decipher from them two outcomes. That's the easiest way to bring it in without having to have all the testing equipment changed, or bringing in new equipment, which is going to be pricey, and all of that. So it can be done simply and easily for mining companies.
So just up the limit.
Yeah.
Great answer. Well done.
Good.
Look, I think the other thing to say about that is that this is an area that is not being well managed at the moment, that there are obvious problems in workplace testing, and that the party is interested in developing good policy on that and publicising it and creating a conversation about what's appropriate in workplace testing.
That's going to garner a lot of support, particularly amongst the mining industry. And I've worked in the mining industry for a couple of years. And believe me, there's probably 50 or 60% of the mining population that use cannabis and would love to use it more regularly if they were able to, but they can't.
Can I just say something here? In Kalgoorlie, because they can't have cannabis in the mines, you find a lot of them here are doing meth and hard drugs instead.
Precisely.
And yeah, exactly. And I would rather work with someone that's on medicinal cannabis than someone that's on benzoids, opioids, meth, or someone like that. Like, for instance, a friend of mine just started a job here as a rock breaker, driving excavator at one of the mines here in Kambolda. And they said to him when he started the job, do you have a drug habit? And he said, no. They said, oh, well, if you do, we can help you with that. And, you know, it's like cocaine, crack, meth, it's here because it's out of their system within 48 hours, gone. Yeah. So they come off shift, they do 2 weeks on, they come off shift after 2 weeks and they hit it hard. Even the police officer here in Kambolda, when I worked at the liquor shop years ago, he said to me that the problem was miners coming off shift and getting on the hard drugs. That was the problem in this town. So the law, you know, really could be pushed in that fashion. And, you know, there's people out there on driving machinery on opioids, basically.
Wow.
It's not right. It's not right. And I went through job mines, but they won't tolerate it yet because I'm a THC oil, so they won't tolerate it.
Authorised by Leo Treasure of 1/440 William Street, Perth, for the Legalise Cannabis Western Australia Party.